first geography lesson of the year. So our first lesson is called 5 Themes of Geography. The reason why I have this notebook over here is to show you an example from previous years. It's a little bit messy, but remember they have the learning goal up here. This part's the homework, and then they have their classwork here. This is what the classwork will end up looking like when we finish it tomorrow in class, but we're going to set up the right side for today and write down the learning goal. So the first thing you guys need to do is get out your own notebook. Remember, I have mine here, and open to that page that we set up the other day, the first page, G1, 5 Themes of Geography on page 2. Now you're not going to use your example page. Okay, this is the second page of the table of contents. This is the example lesson. You are not going to use this lesson. This is meant to have or show you a guideline of what you're supposed to do. Don't ever use this lesson, okay? We're going to flip again to our page where we set up the 5 Themes of Geography. Now every day you'll also have a slideshow like this posted. This will be posted to the Bitmoji Classroom to give you guys an example of the notes typed out in case I go too quickly for you, but you're not going to do anything on those slides. They're purely resource slides. So again, the first thing we do for any lesson is we write down the learning goal. I'm going to write mine down in purple to match that color for you. So the learning goal of this lesson is we will develop an understanding of how geography is studied. I'm going to write that here. I will develop an understanding of how geography is studied. So you can write it all the way over here, you can write it here, as long as you have it. Period. And I know you can't really see it here, but that's why you have it on this side as well. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to write down what the homework is. Now you can do this 2 ways. You can either write it next to where it says homework, right here, or you can put it on a post-it note if you feel like you're not going to have enough space. I'm just going to write it next to the homework, so that way you know exactly what it is. And your homework for this, again, not tonight, but tomorrow, because it's a 2-day lesson, is a key ideas graphic. Okay, and essentially what that is you're going to take there are 5 main ideas, right? 5 themes. So you're going to take the main ideas and draw out what each one of those 5 ideas mean to you. Again, that's not tonight's homework, that's tomorrow's homework. It's always when we finish the lesson. And because this is a 2-day lesson, you only have it tomorrow. Now these are notes that you'll normally take in your student notebook page. We're not going to write those down today. We'll be writing those down tomorrow. So what I want you to do is go ahead and close your notebook for right now. And get out from your white folders that I gave you on the right side. You're going to get out these 2 pages labeled G1 and G1. Remember, I labeled them for you at the top so you know exactly which lessons they are. Again, and they're in the white folders that I gave you guys in your back to school bags for this lesson. And what you're going to do is you are going to cut along the perimeter, the solid line for both of them. All the way around for both of them. Okay. And with a little bit of movie magic, mine is done. So I'm going to make this a little bit larger for you guys to be able to see now. After you finish cutting it out, the next thing I want you to do is color specific sections before we even glue it or anything. And the reason for that is if you are coloring with colored pencils and you try to color over anything that's been glued, especially if you're using liquid glue, it becomes really hard and your paper gets cut and all of that. So I want you to color before we even start gluing. So I want you to see these little keys right here, and I want you to color those in. The reason why I want you to color them in is because these little keys stand for key idea. Get it? Key and then a question mark. I'll zoom you guys in just a little bit. They stand for a key idea. So when you see that on the slides tomorrow, you'll know that that's where you need to be looking. I'm also going to underline the main point or idea of this section, which is place, in that same color so that I know that that's where I'm looking. You guys can use whatever colors you want. You don't have to use purple. You just need to make it stand out in some way. If that's just with your highlighters or different colored pens, that's fine. So key idea for the region, and I'm going pretty quickly. It doesn't have to be super neat there. And the second one, I'm going to switch to pens so you guys can see what I'm talking about. If I say, you know, you want to use pens or pencils, switch to my pen. And I'm just going to color that in with my blue pen and underline it. You can totally do it with pens. You can do it with colored pencils if I want to pull a different colored pencil. There's 3 key ideas down here at the bottom of this one, so I'm going to color it in with my colored pencil. And then for this one, since I know that there's 3, I'm just going to maybe put a little box around each one. Next one is location. Take my marker again. And then the last one is movement. Remember, this is a video, so you guys can pause if you are falling behind. That's totally fine. So now I know, since there are 5 key ideas for geography or 5 themes of geography, I have 1, 2, 3 for human environment, 4, and 5. Now the last or second to last thing we're going to do today is glue this all together. For this you'll need a glue stick or regular glue. I have regular glue stick that you're going to get from Target, Walmart, CVS, your mom's office junk drawer, anywhere, okay? And where it says glue here, glue page 2 here, that's literally what you're going to do. You're just going to put glue on it. Make sure it's glued really well. If you're doing glue, liquid glue, make sure you just dot little tiny dots all the way around. You don't need to soak it. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to take your notes tomorrow. I'm going to take my second page and put it right over top my first page. Okay, so now I should have one really long line or snake of a line. And then when it dries, so wait like 5 minutes or so.
3 hours later.
When it dries, what you're going to do is you're going to start from the back. Start from the back, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to fold this part in and create a fan fold ultimately. But what I want you guys to do right now is I want you to take a pen, pencil, whatever, and on the back side of that, remember the back of movement, I want you to put glue so that you know that this part is going to be glued in your notebook. So write glue, and then fold back. So when you flip it now, it should have the glue on the back, right? Fan fold, interaction, glue. Going to fold interaction towards the human environment. So now I should have glue, and then the back, fold back. And this is why I said wait 5 minutes or so, because if you don't, it's going to come undone. Fold forward. And then fold back. So that by the time you finish your fan fold, the 5 themes of geography should be in the front, and the glue part should be in the back. The last thing you're going to do today is you're going to go back to that page that we started in your notebook. So I've got lots of pages to flip through. This is the page that we started, and I want you to glue this down towards the right side. So glue this down towards the right side. And that's all you're going to do for history today. Tomorrow we'll take the notes together.